seeking to stop former President Goodluck Jonathan from contesting in the 2027 presidential election. Now, before this suit, we had Adams Oshiomhole, the lawmaker, former governor, former Labour leader, also urging former President Jonathan not to consider contesting the 2027 general election. And there are many others, mostly from the APC, who have been saying he shouldn't. Some have said he should just respect himself. Even from the PDP, the FCT minister had also said that former President Jonathan should not think about participating in the election. He should just continue his role with the international community and all that he's doing. There's no need coming back to say he wants to be a part of the election. And you begin to wonder, the question is why? Why is anyone concerned or worried about former President Jonathan engaging or involving or contesting the presidential election in 2027? When, of course, clearly we know that whoever is qualified can or should run. The big question, again, is whether former President Jonathan is qualified to run, because you would only think that for anyone to go to court, filing a suit at the Federal High Court in Abuja, seeking to stop the former president and asking the court to also restrain him from presenting himself to any political party in the country for nomination as candidate, went as far as asking INEC not to accept or publish him as a candidate, and then directing the Attorney General of the Federation to ensure that they comply with what the court's decision says, would definitely cause people to talk. Well, this is Nigerian politics, and a lot of things that happen don't just happen for the sake of happening. But let's not forget that building up to the 2015 election, there was the conversation on whether Jonathan could run or not run. Yeah. The central issue at the time for the suit that was filed at that time was whether Jonathan's first period in office, when he completed the term of his predecessor, Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, should count as a full term, making him ineligible for a second term in 2015. That was the argument. That was the argument when he wanted to go for a second term. Specifically, if you look at the cases at the time, one of them from the Federal High Court in Kaduna, March of 2014, that High Court struck out the suit that was seeking to restrain the former president from seeking re-election. The plaintiffs in that suit were PDP members, not APC, had sought an order to disqualify him from being the PDP's presidential candidate for the 2015 election. So, PDP members, even at that time, some of them. The outcome, very clear. The court essentially ruled in favor of his eligibility, allowing him to contest in the election. If you even go to another case, which was quite similar, one Cyriacus Unjoku versus Dr. Goodluck Jonathan and ORS, that one got all the way to the appeal court, where it was dismissed on technical grounds. The trial court and the Court of Appeal upheld the preliminary objections of the respondent and struck out the suit for lack of a cause of action and for the plaintiff's lack of local standing. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you is that in the past, the court and its decision has affirmed the eligibility of former President Goodluck Jonathan to run for a second term. He clearly ran then and lost the election. We're all aware of the story and everything that happened. So if that has been the case, why would somebody now want to go to the same court now and say that a person shouldn't run? The interesting part about this is we couldn't find exactly the reason given by whoever was filing this suit to say this is the reason why he shouldn't run. However, we also need to ask, what would the implication of former President Jonathan running in the next election be for the South-South? Because if we think about this politically, Peter Obi, His Excellency, is, you would say from every indication, the front runner from the South. And being that he's specifically coming from the Southeast, where we know that we've not had a president come from, Many already from the South are rooting that he comes forward again. So far, we don't know which political party he might want to run on, whether it's the Labour Party or the ADC or the PDP. Because remember, the PDP and its executive said they are trying to woo Peter Obi to return. They are also trying to woo President Jonathan to come back to contest and participate. So if both of these people eventually choose to, what happens then? Think about it. If Peter Obi doesn't run in the PDP and decides to run on the Labour Party or any other party, and Jonathan decides to pick and picks the ticket, Jonathan picks the ticket for the PDP, the implication is we are going to have a very strong struggle for votes in the South, especially in the South. You can almost say the Southeast will go to Peter Obi, but the votes will then be divided. You can almost say that the South, we might look at some sentiments that Jonathan might get some votes. But the point I'm making is we are already dividing the votes. Already we are dividing the votes between these people from the South. We already know where the Southwest will go if we are going to go by the traditional Nigerian politics and calculation. We already know that the Southwest, if President Tinubu already, the APC has said is going to be the candidate. They've been saying that since last year. So I don't think anything will change in the coming years. But the Southwest, clearly, he would get much of the numbers from the Southwest. The North will now be where we go to fight. And the North is very divided at the moment. And I think for whatever reason, the APC is playing all the politics it can to get a hold of the North. I remember the last visit of the president to the North, where he paid a visit to the family of the deceased former late president Muhammadu Buhari. And I was laughing. I was like, it wasn't just this visit to, there are political things going on. Everybody's trying to get, they're trying to lure Kwankwaso in. People are trying to get, everyone is trying to see. Because think of this, the death of former president Muhammadu Buhari also left a gap in the North. He was a very vocal leader, strong voice in the North. And if he was alive, wherever he wants to sway to, the likelihood that a majority of the people would go in that direction is very high, which will leave the remaining to be fought over by whoever can. So this is what it's going to look like. And for some people, the argument could be that if Jonathan decides to run, it's going to affect the chances of Peter Obi and the Southeast of producing a president. Well, all of these, like I said, are just postulations and political calculations. But what's even much more important is two things. Number one, why is there so much concern about former President Goodluck Jonathan wanting to contest an election, to the point that we not just only have people from the PDP and the APC saying that he shouldn't run, we now have people even going to court trying to stop him from contesting. Mind you, the man has not said that he wants to participate in the election. Let's make that very clear. He has not come out to tell anybody, at least that I'm aware of. Maybe you are aware of something that I'm not aware of. But publicly, we haven't seen him say, I will be. He hasn't said so. He hasn't said so. Not yet, at least. So let's also put that in perspective. But if he runs, there's the chance that it could affect the chances of Peter Obi and the Southeast. There's also the question of should you be worried? Some people even say nobody will vote for him. Some people say, I beg, leave that man, go and rest. Your time has passed. Well, there are those that argue the Nigeria that he left for us during his time and the Nigeria we have now are two different things altogether. Well, let's find out what you think. 0817 923 0002. 0817 923 0003. 0817 923 0007. All of these are numbers that you need to call to participate this morning. Again, 0817 923 0002 or 0817 923 0003. You can also call us on 0817 923 0007. Good day, presenter. The former president is qualified to contest the election. He's a Nigerian. It's typical shameless politicians we have in our nation. The issues with the Nigerian system is, I'm trying to get what you're saying. Who are among the spoilers? Is that all former presidents of Nigeria should have either be tried and executed by now and bring end to all these deceitful, and I'm not understanding. Good morning. Why are they scared of opposition? Why are they going to court to stop Jonathan? If they know the president is doing well, why are they running to court to stop him? Ifeanyi Chukwu Nwodo. You sent that one. This person says, good morning. Are you sure lawsuit is not coming from GEJ's camp, Christian of Port Harcourt? I also said that when I started, remember I said politics is very in Nigeria, it's a crazy game. In the world, there's something also called psychology. It is also possible that to capture the minds of Nigerians and sway the sympathy of Nigerians and get people to begin to talk in a certain direction, you can also have somebody from the camp of the former president also going to court to file this, and then people would rise like people are rising now to give more credibility to why he should run. It is also possible that people that are trying to force the hand of the former president to come and contest the elections are also the ones doing this, so that it will give him an impression that, oh, the people want you to come. I don't know if you understand. So there are lots of ways you should be looking at this thing as against the one eye of, oh, which is usually the first thought that will come to the minds of people. Why do they don't want him to run? Blah, blah. Because clearly the courts, the courts that before giving judgment on this matter and clearly have said he's eligible to run. So why would a lawyer who's knowledgeable and understands the law and knows what the court has said before now still go to court again and say stop him from running? And you're not giving a credible reason why, at least that we can see. Maybe it's contained somewhere in your suit, but why are you saying they should stop him? So there are many angles to look at this from. On GEJ, how could anyone think those cabals who removed him while in office and replaced him with theirs cannot also fail him now outside of state power? I beg, GEJ should just keep your statesman-like respect intact to him before NS. There's nothing like statesman-like respect. If he wants to run, he run. If he runs and doesn't win, it shouldn't be a bad thing. It is only in this Nigeria, somebody comes, you run an election, you lose, and they begin to laugh at you, and you mustn't win, which is also why we create that sort of energy where people want to do anything to win. You participate. If you lose, you lose. That's it, fine. If you want to come again, you try. And nobody should come here and tell us to allow the president to complete his tenure. When Jonathan was in power, this same president fought hard to remove him. Now, is he doing well? The answer is no. Ifiemi Andrew, you sent in that message. I don't know what's happening with our phone lines, but possibly after the commercial, we'll take more of your calls. The truth is, okay, I think we already had that one. I'm also joining well-meaning Nigerians to advise the former president not to heed to the call to contest because the time is not right for him. GJ likely will be disgraced by the powers that be. If, as a president, he was defeated by the APC, what makes people feel that he will win when an APC government is now in power? An APC government...
Nigeria Info.
Apologies. An APC government won when a PDP government was in power. We'll take a commercial now. Good morning.
25.
Over to the phone lines and get your thoughts quickly on Facebook at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. The numbers to call are 0817 923 0002. You can also call 0817 923 0003, or you call 0817 923 0007. Any of these numbers, I go over them again: 0817 923 0002 or 0817 923 0003. You can also call us on 0817 923 0007. Why is it a concern for anyone? Former President Goodluck Jonathan deciding to want to run in the 2027 presidential election. What is the implication of him even running in the election? And all of these becoming even more interesting following the contest in 2027. INEC. And I've said a few things, especially going back to the 2014 judgment from High Court to the Court of Appeal, that confirmed his eligibility to run for a second term, regardless of him serving a part of the first term while he was vice president and later became president following the demise of late President Umar Musa Yar'Adua at the time. Ida is in Nkoro. Ida, good morning.
Andrew, good morning.
You're welcome.
They should please, everybody has the right to contest election. Whatever court they go, former president Goodluck Epele Jonathan will contest and he will win 2027 election. The 36 states, he will win the 36 states. We shall allow the man to rest. Please, everyone has rights. We are all Nigerians. Look at what we are suffering today. Why are they afraid of the man? They should wait. It's not time for campaign. It's not time for election. They should wait for this man. When Goodluck was ruling as the president of Federal Republic of Nigeria, I buy rice, full bag of rice for 4,000 naira. How much was petrol? And Goodluck will win. No? They should wait first. Goodluck will win and still win for River State. Come 2027 too. Thank you.
Dakuku from Eche, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Andrew. Good morning.
Hey, Dakuku, good morning to you.
For me, I was telling it on live television last time for Wazobia that Jonathan should not come out for him to have his respect to Nigeria as it has been. I get to my point. For those who are preaching him, taking him to court, this is a breach of fundamental human rights of a citizen. He's coming out, they are not meant to take him to court. Even though yes, I'm saying that we don't have to any longer in this country. The judiciary, when there's a matter they will table to them, they have to talk it out. This matter is not meant to be taken it. They have to stop this.
Hello, Dakuku. 0817-923-0002. Magnus from our 3. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Mr. Andrew.
Yeah, good morning to you.
Very quickly, I think this thing we are seeing today in this country is unnecessary. For me, Jonathan has nothing to fear about. If we were to live in a country where the judiciary should be working well, it is just a means of distracting the young man. But I think it is left in the hands of the judiciary to say otherwise, where he is eligible or is not eligible. But I want to advise the presidency to concentrate on things that matters to the people. All these things are just distraction. There are a lot of things that are happening in this country that the presidency should look into. The area of insecurity, the area of banditry that is ravaging some states in the country should be of utmost concern to the presidency. The area of the economy that is dilapidating should concern the presidency. These are the things that they should talk about, not all this Jonathan should not contest. Jonathan should contest. Thank you so much, Andrew, this Monday.
Mufasa from Eche, good morning.
Yeah, hi, Andrew. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mufasa.
Like you rightly pointed out in your initial deposition, former President Jonathan has never, of course, if there's any that I'm unaware of, he has never said he was going to contest in the 2027 general election. So for me, all these meddlesome interlopers should just allow the man to be. Let us wait until the man himself comes out to say he's interested in running for an election. So all these